looking at myself now.
Huh?
What do y'all say? Keep going?
Whatever makes it feel right. It's your body.
We need Fabio, Gannon, Richard.
Oh, dear God.
Fabio, Richard.
I'm at that point in Skyward Sword, so I'm about to mute Fabio again.
Oh, God. Please take a screenshot when you see, if you finally see the long flowing hair.
I'm like the boss right before him, and I didn't have enough healing stuff, and I had to go back because they got bullshit. So I was like, let me go back and get healing shit. That's what they want me
Please
to
take
do.
a picture of video of Fabio again. So stupid. Oh yeah, I was trying to find an illegal copy. I was trying to find an alternate storefront for Cowboy Bebop movie, and I wandered on to Kiss Anime. Is that a recommended one amongst the anime crowd?
It's an illegal one. It's
Sir, I
something you
said
can
alternate
use though.
storefront. It worked.
Yeah.
I was watching the start of the movie.
Just be careful you don't get a cease and desist like I did. So.
Oh, you got one from them for logging on there, from your ISP or the?
Sony owns the right to Cowboy Bebop, so you get one from Sony.
On
You
the
got big
wall.
companies that own anime now.
Dude,
so.
I'll have a bounty on me after that. It'll have come full circle. I'll be living the full Cowboy Bebop. Spike will be after my ass.
Yeah. It's Sony Pictures Entertainment.
Sony Pictures Entertainment. All right, we're live. 2 minutes. Yeah, just let it keep going. Yeah.
I didn't get any notification.
I see it on Restream, but it says 2 minutes. It always takes about that long, remember? Cesar says you gotta wear clothes.
Yeah.
My corner spider just looked at me like, hey, what are you doing? Do y'all leave the little corner spiders in your houses? The
Try to vacuum their asses
The
up.
little guys that just chill. Remember that one that dropped the last week and then got eaten by the other one? This is another one.
Yeah.
This dude's actually pretty... I mean, he's big, but he's just like all legs. He's not really thick or anything. He's not a thick boy. I still don't have the notification. There it is.
No,
Mine
I
does
got
pop.
one.
I still don't see any. Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
What we've been going for, according to Restream, we've been going for 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Still don't see anything on the tube to the U.
It says that's live too.
Esto. Yeah, I just never see it popped up.
We are live on YouTube though.
Spiked.
Yep.
Jackson can't fight it. Does and no advance. Heck of a play by Alex to get his body on that baseball.
That's where that bleed was coming from. I started watching that movie and I had my speakers on still. Sarsar's looking for something in his den of iniquity.
Is that the phone of a carpenter?
Possibly.
Take it. We'll live forever. Let her go.
Oh my gosh, if it were a redone like millennial version,
Oh, and it's a phone.
Jesus would have like this raggedy old Nokia.
Or like a carrier pigeon. Just a stuffed carrier pigeon.
Car phone.
Yeah, bag phone. My dad still has the number that he had from his bag phone. Yep.
No way.
He's had it since the early 90s. I remember that beast. We would try to unplug it to plug in like a CD player into the cigarette lighter thing. It would take the phone down. It's like, no. The kids of today will never know. Still remember mine. As they got older, they assumed everything was a touchscreen, so they're up next to like a CRT and stuff, and they're trying to touch the screen like they can maneuver stuff around. It's like, doesn't work that way.
Oh no.
Doesn't work that way. So, are you ready to get rolling, or you got something going on?
Ready whenever you are.
He's in the zone.
He's typing away. He never sleeps. Sleep is for the weak. Who was it you were telling?
Renee.
Who was it you were telling me about years ago that guy figured out he can do like 4 hours of sleep or something? Was a game developer, if I remember right.
It was somebody who hunted trophies. So, because he had a family life, he had a couple of kids and all that stuff. So he would only game from like, I think when the kids went to bed, from like 10 p.m. to like 1 a.m. and then he would go to bed and then wake up at like 5 a.m. and then do his whole day. So, and that's how he played his games.
Scheduling.
So.
Schedule master. I can't. If I'm up till 1, I'm not going to bed unless I have some liquid assistance of sorts. Is not happening. I'll be amped. All right, we got 3. We got 2 folks on YouTube. Is a friend of the show Renee joining us for more truck talk on YouTube?
Well, one of those folks is me watching the stream, and then the other one is Renee. Renee's back in town.
Oh, okay.
So.
Renee is back in town.
Renee is back in town. Ooh. I'm sure he enjoys having a song sung in his honor by us.
Wait for the response.
Tell Richard stop. Tell Brant keep going. He's like, he's against my singing, but he's down with Brant. Yeah, we got 5 now. We're good to go.
The Renee song.
The jam of Renee. The Renee Regatta. That's a fleet of ships, right? What am I thinking of? There's no telling. All right, y'all ready to hit it and quit it? 172. Where are we recording?
Do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 172 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. If you missed out on the first 171, do not fret. They're all a bunch like this one. And so once you have consumed this one in your ear holes and you've enjoyed it thoroughly, you can go back and catch up on the previous 171. Get all that sweet, sweet lore so that you know the vague references that we throw out there on occasion. Tonight, hola, amigo. I hope that's a Halo story. Amiga. I read that incorrectly. Hola, amiga.
Yes, you did.
That's making me now think, okay, somebody's moving around the cursor. That's now making me think that it is no longer a Halo story there. GTA trilogy rumors, ? What might that be? It actually sounds pretty exciting. I can't wait to discuss this one. Apple Arcade getting Castlevania. Pokemon Presents announcements. There was a show today with Pokemon-centric stuff. I guess we'll discuss what was announced there and if there's been any internet vitriol since then, the fallout of the show. It seems like we always have to discuss the news and then everybody's hot takes on the news.
Yeah.
Was there really been hot takes on Pokemon?
I saw some graphical slams, but that's just about it. But they've been doing that for Switch games for a long time.
Yeah. I think it was actually pretty overwhelmingly positive, which was surprising.
And then
bring back the other 18 generations.
What was that?
Bring back the other 18 generations fight.
Mm-hmm.
I need the ability to collect all 2,000 Pokemon in my new Pokemon
give us the
game.
Pokedex for everything and a strategy guide. Actually, it's just me that's clamoring for the strategy guides again. Oh, and last but not least, your late August Game Pass games. I'm Richard Bergman. I'll get there. I'm Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Brant McKee, Newsmaster.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for building the news once again. And Cesar Concepcion the second. Welcome, Cesar. He's here
Hello.
in the flesh.
I am. I got my little keycap
He
popper.
is now part
Keycap
of the
popper.
custom keyboard gang. Cesar, please tell us how you got into this and what sickness has overtaken you and what you're looking to do next.
It's a nightmare. I just wanted the loudest keyboard ever, not for you guys, but for people
Okay.
at work, so they can mute me when I'm on calls. That's the plan.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing around. I didn't do that.
I like the
it 'cause,
passive aggressiveness.
I got it because I needed
Oh.
a Japanese keyboard, and this one worked.
Very nice.
So now I can do an alternate keyboard
All
setup.
right, for our audio listeners, he's showing us his keyboard. What brand, or is there anything you want to plug regarding the keyboard? Let's go.
I don't remember what the name of the brand is.
Good looking 10 key.
I need the 10 key for work. I tried without the 10 key, and it's necessary because I'm in spreadsheets all day. What is this brand? I bought whatever was affordable. I think it was a Red Dragon.
That checks out. That's my favorite brand too. Who would have thought?
And whatever made it easy for me to just do the pop caps on. That was my goal. That's what I did. And then I just needed Japanese keycaps so I can use it when I type in
Is it kanji or what is the other one?
I can do. I think I can do both. Right here. Wait for it. Yeah, it's hiragana and katakana.
Right, and you're learning all this in preparation to take us to Japan, right? So you can navigate around for us.
Yes.
That way I can just navigate in Japan. But yeah, if you're willing, I can prepare you to go to Japan.
Alongside. That's the key. That's the key part there.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
That way we can get affordable copies of Panzer Dragoon Saga, or at least I can get an affordable copy of Panzer.
I've already got one.
The burned one.
No, I've got the Japanese.
You have the
version.
Japanese one of Azel?
Yes, I do.
All right, then, since Brand's already got that, I guess affordable versions of all 3 Shining Force games on this.
Brand's
Okay,
like, I got those.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Panzer Dragoon Saga. I got a unaffordable copy. I financed it, and it has since got even more unaffordable. So I'm kind of grateful for when I got in. I thought it was outrageous when I got it, but it's gotten even worse since then.
Now
that get me cheaper.
Now that we may have a Polymega to do the auto translation, we might be all right. So.
Maybe.
I was thinking about that because I ordered somebody on Twitter. I can't remember who posted it, but there was a seller in Japan that would put like a little origami thing in your order, and so I ordered from him on eBay. I was like, well, let's support this little shop. It's like John's Retro Shop or something. I should actually plug them. And I got Final Fantasy VII for PlayStation 1 with the awesome box art and the discs. The discs are kind of like ours, but the design's a little bit different. Like you have the high wind on one of them and the chocobo, but it's not the exact same, but it still goes by the same theme. And I got a little one-up mushroom origami thing in my order, and it was really cool. I reached out to him. I think I sent both of y'all that picture.
Yeah. Did he leave you like a WhatsApp number or something like that? Contact him or something
like
that?
I did get that.
Yeah. That's what the same with me. He's like, hey, if you're looking for something, let me know. I'll find it for you.
And
It's message me directly.
There was a guy at Bungie that posted the box art of the first Halo in the Japanese Halo, and that their box art looks way better than ours. And I don't have a modded system to play it on, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, I think I need that.
So you just gotta do what I do, man. I ordered a Japanese PS2 about a couple weeks back. So I was able to go and get Fate Stay Night on PS2. I was going back and getting all the Rages that I couldn't afford here or was never brought over here. So Fate Stay Night was one of them, and I ordered that one, and that came through. That was like $15. Everything's dirt cheap on PS2 imports right now. So dirt cheap.
How much was a console, just out of curiosity?
I think it was a white slim, and it was $100.
I was looking at PS1s, and they were like, just the PS1s, like 50 shipped. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. I ended up doing the PS2 because I was looking at PS3s. The PS3 backwards compatibilities are not too bad, not too expensive.
Oh, what are the chances of one of those making it over here well, though, you know?
I've ordered the Tales one, and it came in just fine. So, the special edition Tales one, yeah. I didn't win the bid for the special edition 360 one. I could have had backwards compatible 360, or Japanese 360, but
import consoles.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you need one of those Walmart clearance? Hold on just a second, Brad. Walmart clearance, these like It's not a dongle, but it's just an adapter that goes in our power, and you can plug anything into it.
Yeah.
And I got 2 of those on clearance. If either one of you guys need one, I paid like $2 for them.
I think that's how much I paid when Best Buy cleared those out because they were doing those powered adapters when people were
Yep.
traveling like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, I don't know if I ever need these. I got like a
I
closet
got
full
you.
of them.
Cool.
So,
Cool. What were you gonna add, Brent?
but yeah,
It's astounding the at the rate at which these prices have climbed.
Like retro stuff here.
As far as retro stuff. But honestly, your one haven, especially for stuff like Sega Saturn and whatnot, used to be Japanese imports. But I started looking at some of the Japanese imports. I mean, some stuff I've already got, like Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2 and Castlevania. Those games, I mean, while like Panzer Dragoon 2, I think I got mine for like $16-18 or something like that. I'm looking at it right now. $41.
The import one? With the better artwork?
I'm looking at the Symphony of the Night for the Saturn, and it's ranging anywhere from like 160 to as high. Somebody has it listed at 309.
Damn.
And I was like, I only paid like $27 or something for it. And this was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe. I mean, there's still, don't get me wrong, there's still, Nights into Dreams and a few other things you could find that are, going to be 14 to 20 bucks.
English Knights is still pretty cheap too. And they must have made a shit ton of those.
But I guess with the last year, I know a lot of collecting and different hobbies, kind of became a thing. A lot of people to keep their sanity for something to do. But I mean, it's drove prices through the roof.
Or having an influx of income, whether it be less travel expenses or commute, or we've had a couple of benefits here stateside, tax break benefits that have come our way. That supposedly is why like PS5s aren't staying on the shelves. And I just now saw, I think I sent Cesar a picture. I just now saw a PS4 again at Walmart. I saw 2 PS4s. I was like, holy shit!
I haven't seen one of those in the store for. Gosh, like 2 years, 2.5 years.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like, most people are at home, so they're everybody's just doing whatever they can buy. They stay at home.
And I got to thinking too. I was like, I mean, I won't say we're a niche audience, but it's like, who would buy a PS4? But a PS4 gets you Warzone for free, Apex Legends for free, Fortnite for free. You're automatically in those just buying the console. So there's a lot of entertainment in just having the system and not needing, any new software that's coming out, even though there's still stuff coming out for it.
Yeah, I mean, plus Sony's kind of gone back, considering getting PS5 into people's hands has become a little bit more difficult than they thought. And a lot of their newer titles are also going to be playable on PS4. There's only a handful that you can only play on PS5.
True. That is true. All right, y'all ready to get on to this news? Hola Amiga, the one I tripped over to start with. I'm actually very intrigued by this because the Amiga has been one of those things that has like eluded me. But because I have no experience with it. The reference, of course, is the Amiga computer by Commodore. This comes from The Verge. Commodore's Amiga 500, a home computer that became a popular game system, is receiving a remake in the form of a A500 Mini, which is being developed by Retro Games Limited, which previously released a mini version of the Commodore 64, which I had the pleasure of playing with young Cesar, and we enjoyed it thoroughly. It was really well done. It's a pretty good little mini console.
I'm laughing because our friend BigFollows.com visited us
at last.
every week.
All right, make sure they ask them what their favorite game on the Commodore Amiga 500 is. It really kills me that I can't see the chat anymore. I don't know what happened. It's just I've turned something off.
Thank you for your patronage.
Tell your friends. Oh, man. The Amiga 500 was, of course, the most successful model in the Amiga family of PCs, which started to appear in the mid-'80s, particularly in Europe. Did we ever have them? Like, I never saw an Amiga anywhere. It was only European, right? Or at least not NTSC?
I saw them when I was in Germany. So
all right, so
that was like in the late 80s.
alibi still checks out. Because I grew up with Apple IIs and then Macintosh and IBM stuff, like IBM DOS machines.
Had a friend in kindergarten that had an Amiga, and they play like James Pond and other stuff on there. So.
Oh, and Commodore. We had Commodore also. That was big. And Atari computers. So this is confirmed to come stateside. That's kind of cool. A list of games confirmed so far includes Alien Breed 3D, Another World, ATR All-Terrain Racing, Battle Chess, Cadaver, Kickoff 2, Pinball Dreams, Simon the Sorcerer, Speedball 2, Brutal Deluxe, The Chaos Engine, Worms, the Director Cut. Gotta have a Worms game. And Zool.
Yep.
There'll be 20.
Kojima's cut is on there.
Do what?
Kojima's cut of the Worms is on there.
we need a director's cut of that 8-bit Penguin game he made. Remember that for the MSX?
Yeah.
There will be 25 included in total, and you'll also be able to add more yourself with WHD Load, an installation package for Amiga software. Cool. So people are going to take off with that, I know. Other system functions include the ability to switch between 50 Hz and 60 Hz screen refresh rate, save states, a built-in CRT filter, yay, and various scaling options. The A500 Mini comes with a 2-button USB mouse that is already making my hand cramp up with nostalgia, says the writer, as well as a gamepad reminiscent of the one from the CD32, an ill-fated attempt to convert the Amiga into a traditional game console. And this controller, if you look at it, like that's what I'm used to seeing when I think of Amiga and gaming. That, what would you call that? It's like a Genesis controller upside down, but with like sharper edges on the top.
It's like a horseshoe-shaped controller. Mini
doesn't
horseshoe.
Look great, but I'm more intrigued to play this just to experience the controller and see, you know, when the reviews and stuff come out and see what people think as far as how faithful it might be to the original. I thought the Amiga CD was kind of a big deal, though. The article says ill-fated, but
most CD-based products were ill-fated until
PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean, Sega CD was a success of sorts.
I mean, we had Sonic CD that gave us that at least.
And Sewer Shark.
And Marky Mark.
And
Crisscross. Music simulators.
The keyboard on the case is sadly not functional. Wasn't the Commodore one like that? Where the keyboard didn't work? But you could plug a keyboard into it. Wasn't that how it worked, Cesar?
I think the keyboard did not work. I think it was just the joysticks is what they were pushing.
I found my Commodore when the basement took on water yesterday. I'm carting around this crate with two disk drives for the Commodore and the keyboard, which is the computer. Retro Games Limited will release the A500 Mini early next year. It'll cost $139.99 in the US and £120 in the UK. So look forward to the Amiga later on. Someone tell us about these Grand Theft Auto rumors. Are we finally getting GTA 6?
You knew it. That was it. It's when it's from Jimatsu and Sal Romano. I guess was it Kotaku came back and they followed up and said they were able to corroborate that Rockstar Games was developing remakes of I don't know if it's remakes or remasters. There's stuff floating around that's like 50-50.
Yeah, because there's like
Grand Theft Auto 3.
AI upscaling or something involved too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas for everything that's out currently, basically. PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, Stadia, iOS, and Android. They just quote that they're using Unreal Engine, mixing new and old graphics. They said that the UI will probably be heavily updated, but I guess they are going to leave some of that classic graphics is what I'm assuming what they were hinting at. This is all done by Rockstar Dundee, who used to be Ruffian Games. They were recently acquired last year. Apparently they're handling it as well as they're also handling the Grand Theft Auto 5 ports for PS5 in the series.
They got their hands full.
Xbox
That's
Series.
A lot going on, right?
Yeah. And, you know, there was, and then Kotaku ended out that the reports that Rockstar plans to do new ports of Red Dead Redemption if this does well. So
just one generation further.
So they're looking at late October, early November. With the PC and mobile releases, they're looking at it's probably going to hit 2022. As of right now, I think they were confirmed that this would be a digital-only package.
Yeah. First off, it's going to be madly successful if this is the case.
Yeah.
I'd seen somewhere in the chatter that there was like a cease and desist takedown of some mods for these older titles recently, and people that had seen the actual rumored games said it was very close to some of these mods. And I'm looking at it now, and it's like, that's still like PS2, Xbox era blocky hands and things like that, but it definitely runs smoother. That those games were notorious for frame tearing and with all this crazy stuff they had going on, because we're used to open world titles now, but this kind of like broke the mold with GTA 3. That was something nobody had seen before. It was genre defining. And I'm just looking at a video of some of these mods and stuff, and this looks like what it's supposed to. This is what it looks like before people hook a PS2 up to. This is what it looks like in their mind's eye before they hook a PS2 up to a 4K TV, and they're like, "Oh God, I can't play this. This is not what I remember."
When they take out the nostalgia filter off from their eyes.
When it comes pouring back the truth. But these look good, man. I would definitely. That's not a double dip. That's not a triple dip. What are we up to at this point on these? Because I think I even bought these on iOS at one point.
I was about to say they're on
Good
phones
God.
now too. They're everywhere. You think they would bring them to these new platforms?
Stadia. That's an interesting selection. Have y'all seen any Luna chatter? Is anybody still talking about Luna stuff coming to Luna at all?
I haven't hardly seen anything about it.
No, I mean that's what they're technically still in beta, aren't they? They've never done a full release yet, so
I think so is Stadia, aren't they?
Stadia is in a full release that should have stayed in beta. So they're the
They're
opposite.
like giving them away. Oh man, but these mods look good, and I would definitely. So I think the biggest concern about these would be, especially for Vice City and San Andreas, is getting those great licensed soundtracks, because those were incredible soundtracks that they compiled for those, and I don't know. How would they pull that off? That's always the thing with these games is licensing.
If they bring me the entirety of Vice City, I will overlook everything.
The entirety of the game or the soundtrack?
The soundtrack.
That soundtrack's god tier. That might be a cheat answer. Well, I was listening to another podcast.
San Andreas is good. It's damn good, but Vice City.
Another podcast I was listening to years ago, they were talking about what is the best licensed soundtrack in a video game, and somebody said Beatles Rock Band. I was like, that's not. It's a damn good answer, but Vice City's way up there. It came on like, was it 4 or 5 CDs when they actually released and they were like double discs per radio station. They put a lot of music in that damn game.
It was each and every radio station had their own like best of.
And they had a DJ, not only the music, but they had a DJ, and they had like the side shows where people would call in and answer with other stuff that was already happening in the show, and the show was awesome, man. And the first moment of why are we honing in on Vice City? Are we all Vice City fans here?
I am, at least. So.
Yeah.
Brant agrees.
That was the only out of that trilogy of games. That was the only one I've actually beaten and was able to beat out of that trilogy. So I think I got pretty far in 3, and then for whatever reason I just fell off. And then San Andreas, I got lost in the nuances with it, where I was like, all right, I'm just lifting weights all day now. I got a super buff CJ. Is that what I do in this game? And then I was like, I don't know I just wasn't feeling it anymore. So I was like, I lost touch with the story and just never finished it.
There was a lot of extra stuff to San Andreas that they added. Man, remember we were getting GTAs every like 2 years. We were getting a badass new GTA that pushed the envelope and had a story and a new setting and all kinds of stuff. And now we're gonna get GTA 5 on the 3rd straight console.
And they said. Selling. What was it? That rumor was 6. Well, 6 technically wouldn't be coming out until towards the end of this console generation that we're in now. So.
All right, so
because they were like, what, 2024, 2025? I mean, that's
so fucking far out.
That's like 5 years since the PlayStation 5 and the Series consoles have been launched. So.
But GTA 5 and Mario Kart 8, man, they're still at the top of the selling. They're the top of the charts.
Mario Kart.
Hey, we did it to ourselves. We keep buying that stuff.
So here's where I think they're going with this. They're going to bring this studio that's doing these, and they're also learning PS5 architecture, right? They're going to take GTA 5, and they're going to downport it to PS2 so that we actually get GTA 5 on PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS. The only one it'll not be playable on is PS1. It'll be the Shadow of the Colossus of GTAs.
I'll do you one better. They'll come out with some kind of DVD disc you'll need to put in your PS2, and you have to get one with online capabilities, and you just stream all the new games
Oh
to it.
yes. Is the network adapter strong enough to stream to the PS2? That's good.
You have to get the broadband one. You
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
You can't get the well, all the Slims came with both until a certain point, and then they were just broadband, right? You couldn't get a you couldn't get a
Correct.
56K only Slim. Cesar, you might have something there. I would go to whatever links you had to do to make that work. GTA 5 coming to PS2.
We're bringing back that Netflix disc
Yep.
that was just a GUI that allows us to get access to shit to stream. So
Pop this in. Send in proof of purchase that you have all 3 on PS2, and we will send you a disc that you can stream. That would be so awesome. I've been wanting, we get rewarded for, there's new Dreamcast games. So Dreamcast owners can buy new games that are put on Dreamcast, right? And I would just love an official throwback to something like that. Like Nintendo to release Master Quest on 64, where you could get the actual cartridge from Nintendo in 2021, 2022, whatever. I think something like that would be so awesome. Yes, it's very, very niche, but the the people who have kept that stuff and all that would just go crazy. Or it would just be something that sold out ridiculously early, and that might get in the weeds.
at some point it may happen. I mean, at some point, gaming is going to go, or they'll have to look at new ideas to make money.
Yeah.
You never know. So I mean, look, we got records back again.
Cassette tapes?
There's some website I follow is doing cassette tapes now for soundtracks. I was like, all right, cool, cassette tapes. Let me get my pencil out with my eraser so I can rewind tapes again. That's what I always love to do, and I'm glad that's back. So I'm like,
hey, I just bought Hunt for Red October on Laserdisc for $3, and I'm very, very happy with my purchase.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I love that movie. So we would all be down for that. Go ahead, Cesar.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to get derailed too much, but I was watching the Discotech show where they announced that they're bringing Samurai Troopers to Blu-ray. They had Samurai Troopers on DVD, but they never did the English dub because the English dub was lost. Because of archive reasons, for whatever reason, it disappeared. So now they're bringing the Blu-ray, and then they found the dubs. They found it, luckily enough, they found it over here in Atlanta and CNN. So they had the dubs
like a
lying
master
around.
tape or
so
something? That's crazy.
Yeah. So the guy he had to fly all the way from Atlanta because they wouldn't let the tapes leave the studio. They had to record everything, and he said it was a pain in the ass because nothing was syncing up with the Blu-ray transfer. So that's why it took him so long. It took him like 2 years to get this thing on Blu-ray. Because just to get the sync and get all the hardware they need to get over to the CNN center and everything, just so they can sit there and record everything, so they can do the transfer.
That's
Blu-ray.
a labor of love. That is incredible preservation stuff. And now we get that. Now it's on Blu-ray and it won't get lost like that shit did before. That's amazing. Damn, I love shit like this.
Yeah, right. He did a whole Twitter thread about like how he went to CNN and found it, and they had the master tapes. I think when Toonami showed it, that's how CNN had it. Oh. So they got it from there.
So we all grew up around here. We all took the CNN tour, right? You went to the what's that area called? I can't think of it.
I did you one better. I used to inventory the CNN
Oh, okay.
stores
Then there's
in there,
that.
so.
But I'm thinking like that whole plaza, like everybody goes up there, and it was the Omni when I was a kid, and like everybody takes the CNN studio tour. Do you think they saw the tapes like sitting there while they were on the tour? Hey, I'm at
What are those? They're huge fucking things. It's like only something you would get excited about or me get excited about.
Yeah.
Like they're huge fucking tapes. They're so fucking big, man. The masters are so big.
And then probably
like you have to get a special.
Yeah, that's an old ass technology.
player.
Like they have to track down the thing to play that on. I'll go on my anime sidebar real quick, but I've been rewatching Cowboy Bebop. I actually never finished it back in the day, and I'm going further through it. I had to scramble and find the movie, and I actually found my DVD copy. I haven't watched it yet, but Cesar prompted me to find the Blu-ray. You have to import it if you don't want to pay like $80 fucking for it. But there's an episode where somebody sends him a beta tape, and they're looking at it, and they're like, the guy Spike has his finger in the tape, and he's drooping the tape down from the actual tape from the cassette, and they're trying.
That's the one with a phase background.
Yes,
right?
It is.
I heard background story.
And
right? I still remember that because they got to go.
They did. It was like Indiana Jones. They're going through underwater, and and it's a beta tape. So they go to get a Betamax player, and of course you know what type player they end up bringing back to the Bebop. I was like, I knew this was gonna happen because they're trying to shove the beta into the VHS, and I think it was
You get the
Ed was
adapter,
telling
right?
him like, you got the wrong one. Oh, it was so good. It was so up my sleeve. I was just like, I love this show. I'm in. I love the show so much. It's so perfect.
Every one of his shows he does, there's always a drug episode. So you saw that one and that one.
Yeah.
There's one in Samurai Shampoo is pretty funny too. Like no matter what he does, there's always an episode dedicated to where everybody gets high randomly for no
This
reason
was the
whatsoever,
mushrooms one.
and doesn't do it on purpose. Not on purpose
Yeah.
either. So
Does Samurai Champloo hold up? Is that really good?
it's
Okay.
excellent. It's very good. Yeah.
I just love the style and the music and just everything about Cowboy Bebop is just almost perfect. I'm not excited for it to end. I'm kind of dragging it out.
Oh, it ends. Trust me.
I've heard it
so.
does. I don't know anything specific, but that's why you and everybody else
It ends.
online, they were like, watch the
There's no
movie.
Yeah, I told you watch
Yep.
the movie first. It doesn't make sense if you watch the movie afterwards. So
All right, this is a GTA bundle potentially coming October to November. That'd be an awesome slot for the fall. Who is this target audience for? I'm just trying to think like, it's been 20 years, so those people have disposable income, but people who were babies then were not playing these games, or they were not allowed to. I still remember stopping sales of this where some 5-year-old would have his parent in there, and I'm trying to tell them what's in these games. Like, you do not want your 5-year-old playing this. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the kid like, I'm so sorry, but I can't do this to you or your family. They're going to be coming and head hunting for me.
I mean, at this point, I mean, we're at this age where what they say 70% of the Sony sales were digital.
No.
I mean, most people are not buying physical games anymore. I mean, you're still having that conversation, but I mean, you're seeing a lot less of that because all that's being purchased through the online store. So
Yeah. But who is this for? Is this product for the three of us, our age group, and our?
yeah, I mean, these are what these remasters been doing. The remasters been selling well. So I mean, I'm sure somebody's played 5. It's gonna go in there and like, what the fuck is this? I didn't think it would be like this.
Whereas
There's
we're
some
playing
people might
5,
go
and
in
we're like,
there.
what the fuck is this? I didn't think it'd be like this.
Yeah.
5 is like literally the second Grand Theft Auto game I've ever beaten out of like the 80
After
million
Vice
of them.
City.
So, and 4 was pretty good though. But yeah, it's you're getting that. It's that nostalgia thing. People will like remember playing these things. They love these things. They love the soundtracks. That's why I think it'd be wise if they get all the music back. I don't think they will because it gets costly. But you're selling on the nostalgia, but I would imagine you look at it, that would be the most important thing to do is get the music before you even start anything else. Like, let me make sure I can get all these
Has
soundtracks.
that stuff gotten worse since then? Like, was it easier to get in 2002, 2004? When did that other one come out? That one came out in 05, I think. Yeah, because I had to be 18 to sell it. I wasn't there yet.
It's the whole way that music deals go down is a lot different now because you got the internet and music gets out there a lot more easily. That's like I mentioned before, where VTubers trying to sing English songs that are licensed and you have to get permission and they don't respond to you. And then you have artists that feel they're not getting paid enough for their streaming fees, and you got some artists that still don't stream their music. I mean, they're finally putting Aaliyah on Spotify, and it took 20 years for their lead to get on there. I mean, like to get outside of a CD-ROM. So it took forever.
Is that her?
I mean,
is that her
streaming hasn't been
estate
around for
holding
20
that
years,
up?
but I think it was a little bit both that and the record label. I guess they were trying to come to a fair amount of money that would be given for, because I think that was one of the last major big artists that's finally coming out with their catalogs coming out on streaming, and now they're doing like stagger release, like an album gets a release every month. It's kind of like a big deal type of situation. So, but yeah, a lot of that's it's out there now, man. Like just the whole who gets paid for what, how much people get paid for. You don't have CDs like it was in the 90s or the 2000s where they would sell 1 million copies and go platinum. I think you can go platinum selling like 500,000 copies now.
Wow.
So like they drastically drop it, because they're incorporating streams in there. Somebody gets streamed 1 million times. It's a little bit different.
Right, but the artist doesn't see. They don't see the sales from streaming like they did CDs and such.
Yeah. So like I said, that whole landscape's changing. So like I said, I don't know how rocky it is now and how much it could be more difficult or more easier to get on there. But I mean, even then, we're still screwed because you saw what happened when Xbox did the backwards compatibility for 4 and the other ones. They went back and patched out some of the songs of the license.
I remember that with 4. I think we talked about that on this show, that 4 had a shit ton of music expiring.
So I mean, they can go back and patch that stuff out.
What's the state of these now? Like if I fire up iOS Vice City, Do you know like how many are going to be missing? How that is anybody? I'm sure there's dedicated boards keeping track of that shit.
I think somebody's argument would be, hey, just make your own custom soundtracks and just put the original soundtracks on there.
Yeah.
That's probably what somebody would
Yeah.
say. So, I mean, we at least have that ability to do so, unless you have a
PS2.
Series X, Series S, then you have to probably a little bit more hoopty. And a PS5 since it doesn't run CD-ROMs, and a PS4. So I'm not sure how you're gonna get the music on there. I guess the USB jump drive,
That's right,
maybe.
PS4 didn't run CD-ROMs.
Yeah.
That was the first PlayStation to drop it, right? Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, GTA Trilogy remasters potentially coming. Apple Arcade is getting a new Castlevania games. Comes from The Verge and Andrew Webster. Grimoire of Souls is listed as coming soon. Some people will recognize that as being a previously... If the name sounds familiar, Andrew notes. I'll just use his words instead of mine. It's probably because Konami previously soft-launched a version of Grimoire of Souls in Canada before shutting it down last year. That iteration was free to play with added microtransactions, a feature that is absent from all Apple Arcade games. The news comes at a fairly busy time for Apple's subscription game service. Today, this was the 13th, so a few days ago, sees the release of Part 2 of Fantasian, and the music-focused Tetris Beat is also on the way. Does anybody know how this played, like what it was? It's described as an original side-scrolling action game that features a lineup of classic, well-loved characters from the series' hit catalog.
I would imagine that Brent, out of all of us, would be the one that knows more about it.
Yeah,
so.
Brent, you like Castlevania, don't you?
No, it's the same thing. I've seen multiple characters, and it's kind of like a side-scrolling deal. I don't know exactly what it entails. And like they said, they kept it around for like a year, and I believe it was like in the Canadian market. I don't even think we had it down here.
So there's probably footage of this somewhere. It'll just not have whatever the microtransaction grind was. And I think I read somewhere after this news that the microtransactions weren't even really necessary in that first version. Like they said, you could get whatever it was you were after just by playing it normally.
Yeah.
I imagine Apple's just getting whatever they can to fill out the subscription now. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They got a lot of big hits. So Fantasian and I said hits.
A lot of big hits.
Yes,
Konami's best. It'll sound good playing it back. Oh, yeah. The important thing is, The Verge notes, character designer Ayami Kojima and composer Michiru Yamane, both of whom contributed to the series since the iconic Symphony of the Night. So the description of it when I first read it sounded like the one that came out for, I think it was 360, like Live Arcade or something. Was it a multiplayer one?
I remember that one. It's
I think Cesar actually played a pretty good bit of it on 360, but he has stepped away. But I actually have an Apple Arcade subscription with all my Apple shit that I already pay for, so I might try this one out and give a preview later on. Didn't you get an iPad?
Yeah, let's know how it is.
No Apple?
No.
Okay. I thought one of these last Apple Arcade that we were all interested in, I thought somebody else downloaded it. It might have been Sarsar. All right, next up in news is the Pokemon Presents. Oh dear God, it's gonna be
it's Pokemon. It's Nintendo. I guess it falls to me.
Yes, you may handle this from here on out, Brant.
So first, I think this presentation was about 30 minutes.
I caught the tail end. I caught the real world, the open
Arceus.
The open world one is the one I caught.
Yeah. So they started with all of their mobile market news, I guess, for all the Pokemon stuff. They did show Pokemon Unite coming to mobile, iOS and Android on September 22nd.
Are you still enjoying that on Switch? Or are you still playing it?
Yeah, sweet. We're still playing it.
So it has legs.
And it comes with. They said if enough people sign up for the pre-registering, If it's, however many you get Pikachu, and there's like some special costume you can get for Pikachu if enough people
Oh, that's
pre-register. And then you can link if you're playing it on Switch and mobile, you can actually link those accounts and share those rewards back and
Nice.
forth.
That's helpful. In
So
very
you can,
un-Nintendo
yeah,
like fashion.
I know, right?
That they would embrace that. You would think they would kind of segment their Switch. Your Switch profile doesn't carry over to their mobile. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
They did announce 2 more Pokemon coming to the game as well. Not any release dates or anything, but Mamoswine, which is like this mammoth creature, and Sylveon, which is a new evolution.
Okay.
Um, and then they went into Pokemon Cafe, which they have kind of rebranded as Cafe
What
Remix.
is this one? What is
Um,
Pokemon Cafe again?
this is like it's like the Pokemon matching thing. It's like
Mean Bean Machine of Pokemon.
yeah, pretty much. So this is your Pokemon
Okay.
puzzle game. Then they moved on to Pokemon Masters EX. This is um it's kind of a different Pokemon experience, and you can team up with different trainers and people throughout the Pokemon universe. They announced several different events coming up, as well as what is it? You get 3,000 gems that you can get for signing up and or logging in, which I'm assuming is the in-game currency.
I
Then
did
they
not know there
said
were this
that,
many Pokemon mobile games. I had no clue.
oh yeah,
No clue.
and then of course Pokemon Go, which I mean I haven't touched in forever, but and I know there was some controversy lately about it because of all the COVID stuff.
Like people getting
But
out and about, or what? What was the mix-up?
so what happened was during COVID they, I guess upped the number of Pokestops, and also I think you could change and still play even if you stayed at home.
That's right.
And then very recently they reduced that number to the pre-COVID number, and I think stopped some of the extra features and stuff, and people were pretty upset. So I've seen campaigns where it's like, don't play Pokemon Go, on this day and blah. So I don't know, but they're bringing
Lord
Sword
help
and
us if
Shield
a developer
stuff.
takes the time to make it easier for people to play their favorite game when we can't all get out and be around each other.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And they announced the legendaries for Pokemon Sword and Shield will start appearing in raid battles. And then they moved on to the Diamond and Pearl remakes
I
that are
missed
coming
this, and
out.
this is what I'm most interested in.
So they're still on track for November 19th release. They did show some of this new stuff at Explorable Area, Grand Underground, the returning of Pokemon Super Contests as Super Contest shows. And I guess that's if I remember correctly, you can like dress your Pokemon up and get rated on all these different
Watch
things.
your Pokemon get rated
And there seem to
while,
be
while dressing
all these
up.
new socialization features in the Union Room, customization options for trainers, Pokeballs, and the secret base. Um, I noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, it was the buzz around when they showed the Swoled. They showed a bit of Diamond and Pearl in the
Mm-hmm.
trailer for the
Mm-hmm.
Swoled, and people were noticing that the Diamond and Pearl footage in that trailer looked different from what we originally shown, and people were like zooming in on things and saying, look, this is, more blended. There's more detail to this trainer's bag. There's this, that, and the other. And it does seem that they've taken a little bit more time and polished the games.
We thought that would happen
And they
because they announced it a while back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, they also announced a brand new Switch Lite themed for Diamond and Pearl, and it harks back to the DS. I guess they had a special edition DS with the same style, and this is a darker Nintendo Switch Lite with Palkia and Dialga on it. And that is coming out November 5th. So you can get that before you buy the games. And of course, just like the last Pokemon themed Switch Lite, it does not come with the games. So and then they ended the show with Pokemon Arceus, which you said you got to see.
Yes.
That
it looks so good.
Of the show.
Like when Pokemon first came out, this is what I had imagined like GameCube when I was thinking, ooh, the GameCube. This is how our Pokemon's gonna look, and it's just taken 3 generations past that.
Yeah. So this is the more extremely open Pokemon game, like open world. It takes place. It's like
it's the same universe.
You play as a researcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same, but they call it the Hisui region, and it's before it became known as the Sinnoh region. And this was before people started really becoming Pokemon trainers and things like that. So you play as like somebody that goes out and researches and watches Pokemon.
They're like the survey crew, I think is what they called them.
Yeah. And they showed off like some crafting mechanics to where you can craft different Pokeballs and different items and things while you're out there. Sneaking up on different Pokemon, because there's some Pokemon you can just sneak up on and catch them, and other
Splinter
ones you
Cell
have to...
or Horizon or something, where they're in the long grass and they're trying to sneak up on them. It looked good, man. It was like Breath of the Wild Pokemon. It still looks like they're leaning in that direction.
There's other ones that it becomes like Xenoblade. You get too close to them, they see you. They go
aggro. You see it in their eyes, like they're coming after you. It's no longer fun and games. You're kiting them across the map.
Yeah. They also showed that there's like a complete different style to the battle. I would say it's kind of more RPG-esque, to where you can see the like moves on the right side of the screen. You can see like the enemy Pokemon might have 2 moves, and then you have an attack move, and then so it's the flow of battle.
It's like Final Fantasy X.
And it depends on like everybody's stats and things like that. And they showed that there's 2 different styles you can use. There's like a more offensive, and then a more like speed-based style. And if you use, the more power-based, you might want that if you can deal a one-hit kill or something like that, or if you just want to go aggressively at whatever you're trying to do, or you can do the more agile-based, and be tactile about using certain moves to raise certain stats and set up certain things, getting ready. So it
seemed like an extra element on top of the normal like rock, paper, scissors, poison, water, fire thing.
So this is, it's looking great. And I know originally when they showed this game off, people were judging the frame rate and things like that, and there was some pretty heavy frame skips and things like that, and there were still some things in this trailer, like some of the players like scarves and stuff that looked kind of weird. But overall, I thought it looked way better than the original trailer. I saw a screen
where the Pokemon, the texture the grass was sitting on was just like a putting green or something. It was like this solid green, and then in the background was like this tan mountain, like, and then like a blue lake. It was like 3 sets of textures layered on top of each other. But that's not what you're really there for. It's not what you're It's not what you're going
Yeah.
for. I guess we give them the Nintendo Pass like usual, and they haven't announced
Mhm.
upgraded hardware, so it's not like we're
Yeah.
expecting a boost on something else for these games to run on.
I know they showed off a few different Pokemon that like get they've been doing this with the past few games that get a special form based on the area they're in. So some of your Pokemon that you may know may look a little different. And they still have it expecting to launch January 28th of next year.
January 2022.
And
That's a Resident Evil time slot. The
yeah,
Capcom January.
and I think it was after they announced both of those, or right before the presentation ended, that they said that it was you could go ahead and pre-order them on the eShop and get them ready to download.
What, fucking 5 months ahead of time? 6 months ahead of time? Jeez.
I know, right?
It's a long ways out for a digital pre-order. January 28th, 2022. That's all the Pokemon news. Let's wrap up news with your coming soon to Xbox Game Pass. Some pretty heavy hitters in here. Cloud gaming from EA Play is Need for Speed Heat, Star Wars Battlefront DOS, and Jedi Fallen Order. That would be interesting on the cloud. I don't know. I guess you could link your controller to it, so it's not like when I think cloud still,
Yeah.
I guess I'm old school. I'm thinking touch controls, that kind of thing. So you don't really have to deal with that anymore. Recompile comes to cloud, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Train Sim World 2, so that's our favorite genre, comes to cloud, console, and PC. We're getting 12 minutes on cloud, console, and PC. This one's been hyped up, and we've talked about on this podcast, kind of trying to see what that game loop looks like and how this plays out. That's the one with Willem Dafoe. Who else is? They got some big voice actors in that one.
Daisy
That's right.
Ridley and who was the other person? But yeah,
There were some big names.
That's the one that's big game.
Psychonauts 2 is coming out. That is August 25th. I was trying to find that. 12 minutes, but it's not in there. James McAvoy, that's the other third big
There we
one.
go.
I was about to say, in this press release, they have to mention the voice talents they got for this game.
They have to do it.
It's not going to be in there. You're also getting Myst on cloud, console, and PC. Yes, that is Myst that has been available from anything from CD-ROM to Jaguar to 3DO to Saturn to PlayStation to iOS. Is Myst the most ported game? Is it up there with Doom?
Probably.
Maybe Doom is. I bet Doom's on more because Myst kind of had that CD-ROM requirement on it for a lot of its stuff. And Humankind is also coming to PC from Sega and Amplitude. I heard something about Humankind, but I don't know a whole lot about it. Where's that one? That's the one that's kind of sticking out. Available on day one with Game Pass for PC, Humankind is a historical strategy game where you'll be rewriting the entire narrative of human history. Combine up to 60 different cultures to create your own civilization and lead your people from the ancient to the modern age. So maybe more of like a streamlined Civ type game, maybe more console friendly than a deep sim like that, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Your big heavy hitters there, of course, are 12 Minutes and Psychonauts 2 and Myst. Let's not forget Myst. Now we can make the joke, does it run Myst instead of does it run Doom?
Does it run
Does
Crysis?
it run Crysis? That's the ultimate test. Does it run Crysis? Switch does. When is that Trilogy coming out? That's not too far. That's this fall, right? We're now in that fall window.
September.
Yeah, that's coming up. We're about to hit the Nintendo WarioWare and Metroid and Mario Party. All that stuff's coming down the road.
Can't wait till October.
You're ready, huh?
I want that Metroid so bad.
We need to do a spooky game for October too, even though we'll all be playing Metroid. We talked after the show last week about bringing Game Pass back. Did you guys think about that anymore after the show? Game Pass, Game Club.
I forgot.
Because I keep thinking about Cameo for some ungodly reason.
Cameo.
Elements of Power. Oh, but y'all had brought up some pretty good ones that I thought were. I think Shovel Knight was one we kicked around. Just a game to play, and not necessarily like when we did Game Club before. And listeners chime in, chat in, email to Russell, NOFODcast@gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram comments, wherever you want to rate us at. We talked about doing one, and instead of trying to catch up on it weekly, which we ran into before, and a lot of that just ended up being, well, I'm about where I was last week, that kind of stuff. Cesar had mentioned we do it at the very end of the month, and that way we just know that the end of that, and that gives everybody a chance to play it too throughout the 4 or 5 weeks of the month, and then we can all discuss it, and you can send in your comments and pictures and experiences and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty cool to bring that back again. So we talked about doing a short one for August, but maybe we just kind of flesh it out some more and kick it around, and then we launch it next month. We do a September game, which could still be Shovel Knight. I think that'd be a fun one. I think we all have, everybody should have a copy across some myriad of platform at this point. It's on, what, PS3, 360,
Everything.
Wii U.
3DS.
Yeah, Wii U, not Wii. 3DS. Vita.
Beatles
Vita.
Rock Band in September.
What's that?
Beatles Rock Band in September.
Rock Band. That's what we're going to play. You have to beat Beatles Rock Band throughout the month of September.
Hey, man. I still deserve my credit for bringing back Crusaders of Sin.
It's not official yet. I'm down with you, but
hey, Sega paid for it.
They paid for the
something's
trademark.
happening. It may not be what we want, but something's happening with it.
do you have a copy of that? Did you get a copy back before it got crazy?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of Crusader Essentially? Damn.
I do. Mm-hmm.
That got costly. Before we dip into games played, because I don't have that very much, I'm going to do a slight, very small side segment of aspartame and aluminum, our favorite soda and carbonated, caffeinated beverage segment. Cesar, you specifically. We talked about this with Brant off air before. I don't think he's as big of a soda head, but I know Cesar and I are pretty big on it. All right, Cesar, I got a new can right here. I'm trying to do a small preview. Do you know what this is? Have you had one of these yet?
Based off the aluminum just showing up there with
And
the cap
color,
top on
the
there?
color's
No.
the big part.
Cheetos. Cheetos flavored Coke.
Cheetos flavored Coke. It is, of course, the new, and they say improved, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Have you had it yet? Okay.
No. As I drink my big
your big giant tube of water. Do you remember the taste of Coca-Cola before you switched to diet and zero drinks? How that tasted?
Absolutely.
You don't
not.
remember? This new Coke Zero tastes very much similar to Coca-Cola Classic, as I remember it.
If you gave me a cup with the original Coca-Cola from when I remember it as a child to that one, and I probably wouldn't be able to tell you differences.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So.
It tastes just like Coca-Cola Classic. It's delicious.
So they're like, guess right, or you get popped in the head.
What kind
with
of
a
Coke
gun.
challenge is that?
Probably, I don't know. I'm just giving you an example that I'm not going to sit there and take that
Communist
challenge.
Coke challenge.
That's the worst Coke challenge ever. That's like
It's a challenge.
that's the Colombian,
Like Russian roulette.
the
but with
Colombian
Coke.
Coke challenge.
Man, you gave me requirements. I gave you a scenario around it. Whether you like it or not, it's not my problem.
It's true. It is. People will cry because the formula has changed, but it is different. It does not taste like Coke Zero of old, but I do like it. In my humble opinion, it's quite tasty. Games played now that aluminum and aspartame is over, or aspartame and aluminum, whichever one. I guess they're interchangeable. I played, of course, a little bit of Halo, but it was not the traditional Halo night. Nothing of note here. I did have a glitch throughout the entire time I played it, where my grenades, we've all played Halo, and all of us, the three of us, have played Halo together. You have a sticky grenade, which you can stick to somebody and kind of goes off and kind of impacts what it's touching. And then you have the frag grenade, which you can throw, and it takes a little bit longer, but you have a more, widespread. It doesn't stick to somebody. It'll bounce off of an enemy character. But for some reason, every grenade I threw, it did not matter which time it was, it had like a 10-second delay on it. So I'd be in a firefight. I would throw a grenade at somebody. I'd be in the middle of that firefight. I would get killed. And you see my body laying there. And as I'm waiting to respawn and go back in, medals would pop, and I'm getting 2 kills, like double kill. I'm like, how? What did I do? It is from the grenade I threw, but it had like a 15-second delay on it for the whole session I played. I'm like, how does this happen? It was consistent all the way across that somehow these bombs were going off well after I had thrown them. That was just, it's still buggy. I have a lot of faith in Infinite, and I spend a shit ton of time in Master Chief Collection, and it's never a seamless experience. There's always something funny. It's just, if it's going to boot you, like I know I've talked about on the podcast, somebody will get kicked from the game, and the game counts it as quitting. So it gives you like a 5-minute ban when all you did was get booted from the game, and it's just like, this sucks. You would think almost, hey, these guys play 10, 12 hours a week. They're probably not quitting out of these games. Or at least, some sort of submission process like, hey, this keeps happening to me. Can you watch my profile and make sure this doesn't happen? But maybe they'll figure that out down the road. The other game I played, I did not actually play. I was approached by my oldest child, and they requested, Daddy, will you hook up the steering wheel in the game where you run from the police? And so the steering wheel was hooked up, and Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit was put into the PS2. And that is a family favorite, as they yell, pull over! And my oldest hollers and screams and hits the gas and takes off, and it's just, it's very entertaining. So we did about 2 hours of Hot Pursuit over the weekend, and it never gets old. That is a good ass game. We need more Hot Pursuit games. That remaster was quite good. Was that last year? Got that? Yeah. So maybe that showed. What is the temperature on Need for Speed? What is our immediate Need for Speed future? Are they just in development on the next one? Now, we haven't heard anything, have we?
Oh.
Skipping this year, I imagine they'll bring Codemasters into it soon.
Oh, so. That's true. They are under that umbrella now. Damn.
Because a lot of those old developers from Need for Speed left and formed Codemasters, so.
That's right. So if they're still recycling names, then are we getting Carbon next, or are we going to Underground? Because they've recycled Most Wanted, they recycled Hot Pursuit. I thought there was one more, but
yeah, they could do.
Think we'll get Underground. Go back to those. Those were very popular and looked and played super well. That was kind of the heyday of. We were getting those annually, right? I feel like I was pitching a pre-order for Need for Speed every year. Yeah, that was kind of in that cycle. But they were good. They were quality. When we got those annual franchises, then it wasn't. I mean, like when we were getting Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, they still sold like crazy. It wasn't hurting those, but. That's it. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 3 on the PlayStation 1 via PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility and component cables. And a Mad Catz PS1/N64 wheel that lets you slide on the top depending on which system you're getting. And a little bit of Halo Master Chief Collection on the Xbox Series X. What about you guys?
Mine's easy. I'll hit it over the Brand. I didn't play any games. I just watched anime.
Anime week for Cesar. Cesar, this is a summer of anime.
It is.
You got me watching Cowboy Bebop again. I'm very excited. And apparently I'm going to watch Evangelion after this.
Yes, you have to watch the show,
wait.
The 2 movies.
You said I could watch the movies.
Yeah. No, if you watch the Fauna movie, it ties everything together.
Oh, no. I'm out. My next anime is Samurai Champloo, which has a start and an end that's obtainable. Brand, have you seen that one? Yeah.
Champloo?
It's good. You're a fan?
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's been a while, but I recently bought it.
All right. Cesar, we're also getting 3-inch inseam shorts as well. Thanks to the founder of Kenja Deals, who reached out to us on Twitter. Yeah, there it is. Look at it. Is that all of them in one thing? I think that's the Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray I have as that Classics collection.
Yeah. And all the discs look like vinyl records.
Oh, that's cool. Now that we have your Funimation digital copy code, we can start streaming it on Funimation.
That does
go
nothing.
For it.
It does nothing.
So go for it. Well, I mean, when they broke their deal with Crunchyroll, all those digital copies you have for the Crunchyroll shows were removed from their digital store, so you couldn't stream them anymore. So
even if you had the code? Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks. That's the
And
nightmare.
they lost licensing rights on some of their anime shows where you can still stream it, but you couldn't download physical digital copies. So it's a lot of licensing stuff with anime that's even worse.
That is the
So,
nightmare.
Thanks, Sony.
digital codes do nothing. Don't
Oh,
rely on them.
speaking of movies and games, we are watching the hit 2020 film Sonic the Hedgehog. I got the 4K Blu-ray for like $12, I think it was, and we redeemed that digital copy, and they are enjoying the deep, deep lore and backstory of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic's mom and the
James-
rings, the
and
lore of the
James
rings.
Marsden. Yeah. All right, we had our anime interlude. That was it for you, Cesar?
Yeah, I could literally go on for hours about what I watched and interacted with. So go on, Brent.
All right, mine will be pretty quick as well. I did play more Pokemon Unite.
The whole fam still playing it?
We were together with the family. I even had a group of friends talking about it on Discord
Nice.
today because one of them hadn't downloaded it, and I guess after sometime within the past week or so, I guess he's downloaded it now, and he's like, yeah, it's actually pretty fun. So we might play with them
You
them
made a
as well.
believer out of them.
But I know we were playing with it was my family and my nephew this past weekend, and we were all having fun.
Do you now when you play a MOBA like that, is it everybody? Are y'all on the same team? Or are you fighting against each other? How does that break down?
Yeah, because depending on the the game mode you pick, it's usually 5-player. The quick matches can be any. Let's see, it's usually 4 to 3-player, depending on the map, because the map rotates like every day. It's one of like 3. So
So
sometimes
they reward
it's,
you
yeah,
for
sometimes
they
it's
reward you for tuning in with the new map too.
yeah, and it's a 3-cell team or a 4-cell team
Do you
with
pick
that.
your characters? Like, do
So
you pick your roles for support, if that's how it works, or healer or whatever?
yeah, there's no worrying about Pokemon types. It's just, are you more of the defending role? Are you a speedster? Are you more attack heavy? Stuff like that. But yeah, we enjoy doing playing that, and then last I actually went to a friend's house, and trying to remember. I think all we played was some Smash Brothers. And I finally got to, because I hadn't downloaded.
Which one? 64, Melee, Brawl, Ultimate, whatever the one that came on the Wii. What was that one?
That was Brawl. Was
Was that
Wii.
Brawl? Melee, Brawl, Ultimate, and
Wii U.
3DS.
Smash Brothers.
Don't forget
Wii U.
3DS. It's got
And
that.
Smash Brothers Wii 3DS.
Got the Spirit Tracks exclusive stage on that one.
Oh, that was amazing that they got that game running on 3DS. But no, we played Ultimate, and I finally got to, because I haven't downloaded or played since they added Kazuya. He's fun, and you just play, you just hit his like null attack, and he just starts going into a combo. It's crazy. He's really, really fun to play.
Is he part of the last Fighters Pack, or is that like Fighters Pack 2?
He was.
It's got one
more
more
after this.
Yeah, he's
one more, and it's
yeah.
done forever, according to
Until they
Sakurai.
chain him back up and.
No, I think he might be done, or he's going to do something completely different.
Do Kid Icarus?
If that.
Oh, not even gaming, you think?
I mean, it's possible. I know there was like one interview with him, and he said that after this was basically his like biggest thing, and he'd be fine retiring after this, or at least doing something different. So I mean, it all depends on what he wants to do.
That makes sense. When you've made a zeitgeist like that, a cultural force, a landmark, tour de force.
But I got my ass handed to me because my friend he's like an extremely technical player, and I'm just a filthy casual. I mean, I like to sit down and play and have fun with my friends and my family and stuff. And I mean, sometimes we win, sometimes you lose. But like, dude, he was almost like every stage, every time I'd go against him, every character I'd pick, I'd be okay. But like, he would just because he knew like all of the different style. He knew like, oh, I know that's a 2-hit attack. I know, that has a delay or that has a shield or that, I'm like, dude, how do you keep up with all
frame
this? I
jumps up
just,
in it and everything.
I've got, yeah. It's like I got too much going on to remember all these like little details about this one game.
Does he have a family? Okay, so
No.
I'm not discriminating. No. Everybody makes their own choices, but I also do not have room for things like that. It just doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't work that way.
And then other than that, I'm still playing Phantom Hourglass.
Okay, Phantom Hourglass.
I said that I had to find these like 3 metals to help forge this special sword I need. And I have to go find all these different races, and I found the Gorons.
How do they look on the game?
And I went
pretty
through.
Cool?
Oh yeah, they look good. You have to like. This theme is like you have to go through and like earn all these people's trust first. It seems to be the same thing again in the other part I'm doing. But you have to like go through, and that is where the game gets a little tedious. Is like, I have to find where the chief was, and then he asks me to go make sure I talk to every Goron, and then I have to go to talk to every Goron, and then I have to talk to the chief again, and then he asks me all these like weird random quiz questions about like, oh, how many Gorons live on this island? How many are in their homes? How many are outside?
Sounds like Cesar's Banjo-Kazooie game show.
Yeah.
That is a bad game.
Thank you for your insight. Put it on the back of the box.
Yeah.
This is a bad game. Is it padding, Brant? Is that what they're adding to this by making you do the...
It felt like padding, because I mean, as soon as you do that, he lets you into, their like special area to go through the temple, and then you complete the temple, get, do the boss battle, and get your medal. But the thing is like the chief's son was standing there the entire time while you're doing all this crap, and then his son is supposed to show you to the temple. And the son's a little shit because he like runs away. He's like, "Yeah, you're not part of our tribe. I don't trust you. This, that, and the other." And you have to like chase him around for a second, and then he runs away again. And then you're like, "Well, I guess he's in the temple somewhere." And so you go into the temple, and you find him, and he's like, "Oh, I got thrown over here by a monster." And he's like, "Can you help me out?" But then it actually turns pretty cool, because you get this icon at the top of the touch screen, and you can flip between using Link and using him. Oh. And you do that to solve, these puzzles on different sides of the map there in the dungeon. So it winds up being pretty interesting.
Damn, there's some cool stuff.
And then even when there is a lot of good stuff. There's some padding, and there's some. I mean, obviously, like I said before, the touch screen is this generation's motion controls. It's the gimmicky thing.
Right, but when it's done well, and it sounds like a lot of the implementations, like you were talking last week about how the top screen maybe was like the enemy's point of view or the other character's point of view during the whole boss battle. I was like, damn, that's freaking awesome. We never see something like that.
It's really cool.
That's a good implementation. And you stamped at one point. You like closed the DS lid to stamp something.
Yeah, you had to close the DS.
Have you blown into it yet? Has that been one of the things with the microphone?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of things. Like there was one part that you had to solve, and you had to like find these special like just like almost like windmills, like little wind turbines. You have to find the right ones and blow and make them spin. There's several things like...
Have you pointed the camera up into the sun so you can decipher a map?
Yeah. You got to do that.
That's cool. Oh, that's really cool.
There's all sorts of... pretty cool. Yeah, there's all sorts of
I was
pretty
trying to
cool
just talk
stuff.
shit because there's that whole Uncharted game for the Vita. I just
Oh
remember doing all that shit all the
yeah,
time.
I loved that.
That shit was fun though. I didn't hate that game like everybody else did.
I loved that
I
Uncharted
did
for the
too.
Vita.
It was good.
The rubbing stuff was kind of that got old after the first couple.
Yeah, it was overdone. That was
That's
way
the one where
overdone.
Sully says that's what she said over and over, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we those. That's a pretty good Uncharted game. Everybody hates on it. And here's the two things we fucking hate about it. We just immediately flipped the switch on it.
It's the only one we didn't get a remaster of.
Yeah,
so.
we don't have that
Yeah.
yet. Maybe that's the next Golden Abyss Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
That or
And
whatever that graphic novel when he met Eddie Roger for the first time.
Eye of Indra or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
and then I finished that though, and I moved on to the second island, and it's an island of ice, and it's
I expected you to say
Um,
Misfits. I would have accepted Misfits.
I love Misfit
It's-
ice toys.
the people that are on this island are the
Misfits.
Anuki.
That sounds like a new race.
I don't. It's they look kind of like. Gosh, I don't know how to say it. I mean, they almost look like they're like all bundled up like Inuit people, but then they have like these antlers that come out of the top of their head, and they walk like penguins. They're weird looking people.
Interesting. Is that the only game they're in?
I'm trying to remember another game where they're in, and I really don't know if they're in another.
We literally have all these Dark Horse guidebooks on
Encyclopedia,
timelines, and we
artifacts.
They might be in the darkest timelines.
Why are we not pulling out these books that we spent all these thousands and hundreds of dollars on?
Those aren't books; they're
And
tomes.
we have the fucking answers in our Zelda libraries that take up at least one full shelf of a bookcase.
We have Zelda tomes.
But this is a weird one because there's like I'm getting all these like weird things because again I had to find the chief. They wanted me to find the chief. I talked to him, and he said that like hundreds of years ago they shared the islands with the Yook, and they're like these kind of like Yeti looking things, and
it's definitely a North Pole-ish type of Christmas side story.
And so the dude, the chief says that like they came to an agreement that the Anuki would live on the west side of the island while the Yook would live
They
on the
segregated
east.
them.
And then he's like flipping out because he's like, there's a Yook impersonating somebody and I need you to figure out who it is and kick him out of here. And then you find out who you have to do this again, padding bullshit. Where they're like, well, they always lie. So go up to this village where there's like 6 people living there and try and figure out who it is. And like you go through and every person's like, well, me and this person never lie. And you know, you have to decipher out who it is. And then you finally do. And like the person transforms into the little Yeti thing. And they like,
you found me.
They
you
like,
you and your damn dog, you kids.
You get gusted out of the house, and then you go tell the chief what happens, and he's like, "Wow, that's pretty crazy." He goes, "Sorry, you got blown out of the house like that." He goes, "Wouldn't you like to go over there and get some revenge?" And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna open the ice cave. You can go over there. The ice temple's over there too. You can get all the revenge you want. Go ahead, have fun. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I don't remember this part.
That's just to get you to the next interesting part.
But I'm in the ice temple right now. I think I'm on like the second to last floor, and I'm just trying to go around right now.
Pretty good dungeon.
But
are all the dungeons?
All the dungeons are pretty cool, and the puzzles to solve everything's pretty good.
And you're
a lot of the same. One thing is a lot of the same like repetitive. You'll find some levers. And you have to figure out which order to pull them in and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're usually pretty new, unique, and of course, you're going to get a new key item. Like I just got the grapple hook, and then once you get the grapple, you use it on everything. So, like, there's a special enemy that you can only attack from behind because it's wearing like this like shield thing, so you can grapple from it and then go attack it. And
It's like a Link's Awakening
now
enemy.
you can get across. Yeah, so it's still pretty good, but I'm getting an itch. I want to play something different. I might even wind up having to go back into not back into. I need to start Skyward Sword because I popped it in the Switch so I could get my Nintendo points, but I haven't yet to actually start it up.
The game's awesome. Have you played the?
And I saw that it had an update.
There was an update for it.
I don't know what.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what updated about it. I didn't hear anything.
System stability. General performance enhancement or whatever they say. Have you played the Capcom Zeldas? Have you played Minish Cap and the 2 Oracle of Ages and Seasons? Have you done those?
I've started Minish Cap several times, but I've never finished it. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. I've never played those. I've got them on my wish list for 3DS, and I think they're only like $5.99 a piece.
I got one of them for
something like that. And
some game back in the day. They gave you one or the other.
I need to jump on them before they eventually decide to close that 3DS
really
shop.
I beat Seasons on the original hardware and then on 3DS, and then Ages. Ages has always been tougher for me. I don't know if it's just more vague or the puzzles are difficult or what, but Minish Cap is not to be missed either if you stay on your 2D Zelda kick or your handheld. I guess it's handheld Zelda kick. Because you're more on a DS kick than anything. Is that it, Brant? That's it for your game.
That's it.
All right. You guys got anything else you want to add? Are we getting out here in our suite? I know it's less than an hour and 48 minutes. Looks like an hour and 20 minutes. It still went long.
Yeah, I think it's about an hour and 20.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this weekend. We will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.